Well, hello everyone. Welcome back to Boomix Beauty Beat. It's Laura here. It's great to have you guys. I am excited about today's topic because it's something that I get asked, and I did a little deep dive, and it's, are rich people having a richer life? Are they having a better experience than, others that don't have that kind of monetary movement? Do they feel happier than us, right? Don't you wonder that? Like, is everything it looks like, how great it looks, actually as good as it is? Well, before we can answer that question, we're going to do a bit more discovery, a little bit more self-discovery on this whole, shabacle. And this is mastering the energy of money. Yes, we have a divine right to abundance, but how it comes and how you deal with it and how it's introduced to your life has a big impact on that answer. So I'm going to start diving into that. Stay tuned. It's going to be very interesting. All right, this is one of my favorite topics. Okay, so, in order to take a look at this, we have to look first at people who are posers or pose and have imposter syndrome. I had someone that I know, we had this conversation in the car one day, like, what is a poser and what does it mean to be a poser? Meaning, that they're faking like they have more than they have. And it's, always been ingrained in us to fake it till you make it. And, it's a common term, right? So it gets a little confusing. Are you supposed to fake it? How are you supposed to be? What's acceptable? Who's going to like me? What do I need to have to be liked? All of these crazy things running through our head all the time. Let's answer them. You guys know we've been working on manifestations, right? And in that, what we do as part of that is we're affirming to the universe that we already have what we want. We have what we desire. We just need to get clear about that. And what I want to clarify is the difference between posers or fake it till you make it, which is, even in the words, gives me a cringe, and spiritual, knowing that you are abundant and rich beyond measure. And we're working on the law of attraction right now, opening that vault. So there's a bit of a difference there. I'm completely guilty of the fake it till you make it term. I've used it many a time. And now, since my spiritual awakening, I'm realizing what a toxic term that actually is. So as I said, we're going to get into the title and the answer to that just a little later in the video. We need to run through a few things first. So imposter syndrome, it's not confusing or a deep psychological wound or anything. I mean, it can be some wounding there, but it's a very, very simple self-thought of, essentially, if people knew who I really was, really was, then they wouldn't want to be around me. Simple. The problem with residing in this energy is that the best that you're ever going to get is imitation love, imitation fame, imitation friendships, and imitation happiness, because you are in the form of imitation. You are getting it without the feeling of authenticity. So until you're willing to show up as you are going to live in a wound of imposter syndrome. So if you do have somebody that loves you, you don't actually feel loved if you're living in that syndrome, because you're always going to wonder, do they love me, or do they love the mask, or do they love the money, or whatever else you're presenting to the world? So is it the act or is it you? So yeah, you might end up with the pretty guy or the good looking guy, or the pretty girl, whatever, the nicest car, the nice house, but you spend your whole time never feeling secure in any of those relationships, not even with your material items, not even with the people you're with, not with your friends, not with your family, because God, what if they find out who I really am? Then what? Because at least if you show up as yourself, and that doesn't mean you guys be a jerk or a scoundrel or a liar or whatever and say that's just you. That is just a lazy excuse for not being a good human. You can still be you, just the kind you. So if you're willing to show up as you, just say, screw it. Show up as you, completely authentic, you. It is so amazing how the right people find you. Or even people that you were wearing a mask around, maybe they were looking for you to be more authentic. So don't be afraid to let the people go who aren't ever supposed to be in your life to begin with, because they can't resonate at an authentic level. So it's the difference between being a lighthouse, which is just standing tall and shooting out your light and giving that signal. And people can use that lighthouse, right? They can use it, they can come, they can go, and they'll come to you as a lighthouse. And they're drawn to the lighthouse because it's going to bring them into the place they need to get to in life. Be a lighthouse. They can avoid the lighthouse too with whatever tactics they want to do. Maybe they want to sneak around and not be seen, whatever. If you are a person that takes a flashlight and you're running around town with the flashlight trying to shine it all scattered and trying to be seen, that's an inauthentic way of shining your light. So standing strong, standing still, be a lighthouse. You want to be able to draw in what you want. Draw it into that stableness. Be in a good space within yourself. You can this is another thing I want to talk about. You know how you hear this all the time from people? You can be not so classically called attractive, or you might not have all the money in the world, or your career might be whatever it is, and you're not that happy with what you're doing for a living, whatever. But you could still feel comfortable in your own skin regardless of those external factors. So the key to everything is finding the comfort within your own skin and then grounding deep in that. And for me, it came with moving my physical body, getting my body to a place where I felt strong, solid, not insecure, because I knew I wasn't doing the best for myself. And changed the way that I moved within the world. And then, because I was feeling stronger in myself, I started to attract different types of people and found my spirituality, which further anchored me into self. So arguably, one of the most, if not the most attractive qualities is coming from a place, a standpoint, a business standpoint, a teaching standpoint, any standpoint, is to come to that place and stand grounded in who you are within your own skin. If you don't want to put all the work into books and counseling and all that, I'm going to give you guys a shortcut, okay? So show up. Be yourself. See what happens. 3 things. That's the secret. Show up. Be yourself. Just see what happens. It is the absolute secret to success in business, in relationships, and happiness, in life in general. It is that simple, but no one believes it. I don't know why they don't. They don't believe it. I was telling you guys, might have been the last video, I went dancing. I'm in my own little world dancing. Somebody came up to me. They're like, "You're untouchable." I'm like, "I'm what?" I'm really not. I'm super outgoing. I like people. I like interacting with people, but I'm authentically there for the music. And so I authentically show up on the dance floor enjoying the music. And I'm not there to move my body in a way to attract or distract or do anything to anyone else. I'm there in my authentic enjoyment of that moment. And I'm not unapologetically doing so. It scares the heck out of some. They run the other way. Attracts others and makes others kind of in shock. So it's this weird mixture. And that's what I mean. Like, be authentically yourself and whatever, let the chips fall as they may. Simply telling people who you are, that is one of the most freeing experiences, like ridiculously authentic and just watching their jaw drop. I have met many people who are wealthy people. They're extraordinarily unhappy. They're a slave to the money. They're a slave to the status. They're a slave to the people around them who have built up these walls of 3D existence that are so inauthentic, and they're just poisoned inside. Whatever you are, whoever you are, embrace the heck out of it. Doesn't matter if you're a rehabilitated drug addict, if you used to be plus size and no longer, used to have a gambling problem, no longer, whatever, whatever mental disorder you have, you're agoraphobic no longer. And if you're still in those issues, you could say, I'm in these issues right now. I'm struggling with some addiction and I'm working my way through it. Whatever it is you're in, as long as you're authentic about it. Hey, you know what? I blew all my money and I don't have crap, but I'm on the rebuild. Fine. You would be surprised how refreshing it is to the right people. Don't drag others into your mess and hope they're going to fix you. Know that all that power is within yourself. Be willing to heal yourself. Be embracing it. If you're broke right now, so what? So what? You're broke, but you're not broken. You're just broke. You can rebuild and use all that you just learned about being broke and start all over again. Turn another page, climb another hill. The climb, we did the whole jargon in the last video. Enjoy the ride. So what? Go on the roller coaster. Why do we even like roller coasters anyway, going up and down? Makes me nauseous, but some people love it. It's just the ride, going on the journey. I often tell people that I've been through things that would make your toes curl. I tell them that I'm like a diamond. The more you come at me, the more you chisel at my rock, the brighter my sparkle will shine. Because I embrace the darkness. I embrace my insecurities, my shadows, my past hurt, to carve out the truest possible path that I possibly can. And recently I was, like I said, told I'm mysterious. I'm untouchable. I'm an enigma. Yet, I am the most caring, loyal, authentic person that you'll ever encounter. I know that about myself. But I also know I have learned to be discerning. I'm not letting people come into my energy that are going to burn away the authentic self that I have created. That's not happening. So along with your authenticity is going to come your boundaries. You will find your circle. And people that come into your inner circle, into your field of energy, those people around you wearing masks, comparing materially or socially, once they figure out that you're a lighthouse and you don't buy into that stuff, you're now a beacon. Or you might blind some people and they might run away. They can't look into the light. You don't need to run around with the flashlight telling everyone, woot, 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 I'm this, I'm that, I'm this, I'm that, I'm fabulous, I'm blah, blah, blah. Stand still. Stand strong. Put it out there. This is who I am. No imitations. We're going to do a little final thing here. I want you to ask yourself, percentage-wise, how authentic are you? If you're shooting a golf game, are you going to tell people that you had, 95 points, 96 points, 94 points? Are you going to tell them the exact number of points you shot, or are you going to nudge it just a little bit? Are you give them the most of the truth, but not all the truth? Are you going to, where an authentic answer is needed by a person that's being authentic with you, are you going to use omissions, half-truths, all of that? Are you? Is your percentage of authenticity 80%, 12%, whatever percent? You can get authenticity and integrity like in 30 seconds. So when you decide upon your percentage of authenticity, kind of take a look at yourself. Just ask yourself the question, how authentic are you? Of course we want to get to 100%, and nobody's expecting that because we're human, we know this. But why ask so little of ourselves when it comes to authenticity? It is the little things that give and chip away at our integrity, isn't it? The goal of 100% can stand strong. It might feel unattainable, but can you be just a little more honest today than yesterday? Can you be a little more authentic today than yesterday? Stand in your integrity a little more today than yesterday. Can you get closer to that goal of 100? If those little lies, those deceptions, etc., become less of a habit or norm, you begin to let that mask come down. You begin to walk more fully in your true self with the highest integrity. That allows you to use your internal guidance system that is so dying to come out. Anything that you don't want to divulge, you have no requirement to do so. You can simply not divulge it. Better to not divulge it and say, I choose not to divulge it, or I choose not to answer that, or I'm not ready to answer that at this time, than to say a half-truth. Skip it. Say, I'm not really wanting to answer that right now, and stand in it. Be a lighthouse. Be audacious about your authenticity. In your honesty, let the chips fall, people fall, lifestyle fall where it may. They can't see how great you are without the mask. They're not your people, they're not your situation. Your boats will find you. Like I said, keep shining your light. Be proud of who you are and the challenges you're embracing. So to answer the video topic question for today, are rich people having a better, richer experience than those of us that monetarily might not have exactly what they have money-wise? That monetary experience it would need to be fully aligned with their authentic self for that answer to be true, that they're happier. Because people who are unauthentic with themselves are already unhappy. So don't feel the need to be a slave to the expectations put on by others or your insecure self to be more or less than exactly who you are. Because it's that truly living and embracing all the shadows that we've had, have, are gonna have, that our lighthouse shines the brightest. And when we don't have a light in sight, we can always reignite it within us. All we got to do is look inside, ask for help from source, and man, we're talking lighthouse city. The light will shine like crazy. I hope that helped answer the question, are rich people happier? And we will see you guys in the next video. Bye for now.